My shoes are squeaky. Hey, what's up you guys? It's Kaitlyn and welcome back to Building Characters. So, February is over and that means that it is March, which means that we're not talking about rom-coms anymore. Thank goodness. So with this new month of March means that we have a new topic, and our new topic for this month is traveling. Now, I am a huge fan of traveling, especially when it means that I can go somewhere with my friends or with my family. I'm all for it. I'm down. You say road trip, I'm in. Let's go. So because I love traveling so much, today I want to talk about my most favorite trip that I've ever taken. And that trip was with my family back in 2015? So basically, to set the stage, my cousin Johnny was getting married, and he was getting married in Michigan, and I'm in Alabama, and Michigan is way that direction, long ways away. So my family and I decided, you know what, we love Johnny, he's real important to us, and we think that it's really important that we make it to his wedding. So we all packed up in the car and we started driving to Michigan. Let me tell you, the drive to Michigan is long. And boring. And very, very dull. Especially Indiana. It's just nothing. There's like one tree along the highway. So, we're driving along the road, we're getting to move on, and I just remember that ride being so just great. You see, me and my siblings aren't perfect, and typically we argue a lot. But for some reason, at least how I remember it, this trip was pretty easygoing, and we were having a great time. And we got to the point where we were just kind of delirious from boredom, and so we saw this turtle shell on the side of the road. It was a big old turtle shell. It wasn't a little thing. It was pretty large. So we're going along, we're driving, we see this turtle shell, and I don't remember who came up with it or who started it, but we decided to write a song. And it goes a little bit like this. Yankee Turtle went to town riding on a pony. He fell into a ditch and died, and now his shell's an ashtray. Yeah, it's pretty pathetic. But at the time, this was so funny to us, and so we were laughing hysterically. I was crying because I was laughing so hard, and it's just one of my most favorite memories that I have with my family is us just cracking up in the car because of this turtle shell that we saw on the side of the road and the creativity of either me or one of my siblings, and it was just beautiful. So anyways, we get to our destination, which is St. Joseph, Michigan, which is the cutest little town I've ever seen. Like, the roads were brick paved. There were little shops on, every corner. And then, there's this one place where you go, from, downtown, you walk down these stairs, and there's, this old, train depot kind of place that's been turned into a pizza shop. And then you walk a little farther, and there's this big museum type area over here that has an arcade in it and a carousel, and it sold cotton candy, and it was just the coolest thing. And then just a couple more steps down from that was a beach on Lake Michigan, and it was just gorgeous, absolutely gorgeous. And so anyways, we get to the place where the wedding is going to be held, and it's literally in the woods. In the woods, there's a pond. My cousin Johnny's now wife, her family owned a bunch of land, and they had a pond, and they had a zip line going over the pond, and they had four-wheelers. It was really cool, and it was really just adorable. And they had it set up where this one area where the reception was going to be was just this group of trees, and they had strung Christmas lights all through it, and it was like a fairy wonderland. It was beautiful. I loved it. When we got there, all my family was there, so I got to see my aunt and all my cousins. I got to see my gammy, my granddaddy, and it was really cool because I had missed them, hadn't seen them in forever, and so it was just kind of awesome to have everybody in the same place that was in Michigan, of all places. And it was just really cool, and it was beautiful and awesome. Anyways, fast forward a little bit, we get to the place where we're staying, and it's this little, quaint little house, and me and my sister are staying, pretty much in the attic of this house, and there's these two really old creaky twin-size beds that were scary as all get out, but let me tell you, it was still cute. It was oh, how adorable, we might die, but it's okay. So anyways, fast forward to the next day, which is the day of the wedding. We got up, we got dressed and everything, and we decided to go into downtown to find some breakfast, and we went to this one little shop that had cinnamon rolls that were this big. Now, if you know me, you know that I love cinnamon rolls. So anyways, ginormous cinnamon rolls. It had good coffee. It was just like the cutest little shop ever. And so we ate breakfast there and it was lovely, and we decided to walk through downtown. And so we did. And there was, this one shop that was kind of like a five and dime sort of thing. And my brother got some silly putty there, which was super fun to play with. Then we walked around and there was this coffee shop that also sold like bottled like sodas kind of thing, but like glass bottled sodas that are like abnormal. Anyways, it was just super cool, and it was like just the most adorable place pretty much ever. It was awesome and fun. Anyway, so we go back to our house that we're staying in, we get dressed and we go to the wedding, and it was beautiful. So the way it was set up is the wedding itself was actually held like in the woods. We sat on hay bales, and they had this gorgeous arbor that was made out of old wood pallets and like flowers and Christmas lights, and it was beautiful, and I loved it. But they got married, super happy, and so after that, of course, we go back down the hill to the reception and under the very beautiful lights. And that night was just so fun. We danced. I screamed "Don't Stop Believing" at the top of my lungs. Me and my cousin swing danced, which he's a lot better at it than I am, so it was cool. I was just kind of following his lead. I was like, yeah, I can do this. But it was super fun, and it was one of the most beautiful weddings that I've ever been to. And so after that, we went home. Of course, we were exhausted, wiped out, got back to our house, and went to sleep. And the next morning, they had planned to just have a day that was just fun. Like, you just hanging out, playing some games, riding the zip line over the pond, like all sorts of really cool stuff like that. It was just a really awesome, fun day that I got to spend with my family. I got to spend with my cousins. And then also we went down and we went back to the downtown area, and we walked down the steps, and we actually ate dinner at this pizza place that was this old train depot, which was really cool, and I remember it being really, really good. And then after that, we walked down and we saw the beach, and then we went into this place that was this museum, and we rode the carousel, and we took lots of pictures, and that was our last night there, and we were actually leaving to start heading home that evening. And so we went home, and we packed up, and we came back, and we decided we wanted to drive by the beach one last time. And we did, and it was one of the most gorgeous sunsets I've ever seen in my life. Now, there are some sunsets that include lots of pastels and that are really light colored and kind of airy feeling, but this sunset in particular had lots of navies and like deep oranges and mustard kind of yellows, and it was just incredible. It was breathtaking, absolutely gorgeous. Let me see if I can find a picture of it. Here it is. My caption is, "Pictures do not do this last sunset justice," and that was so completely and totally accurate. I will never forget it, ever. And so that night we got back on the road and we started driving back to Huntsville, and we stopped in a hotel and stayed the night there and got up, and they had waffles in their continental breakfast, and it was wonderful. Yeah, then we got back to Huntsville, and that was the end of the trip. And it may not sound like much. It may sound like something that, is nothing compared to other people's trips, but really just getting to spend that time with my family and goof off and be silly, and it was just a really, really great trip, and I really, really loved it. So yeah, anyways, that's my most favorite trip that I've ever taken, and that's all I've got for you guys today. If you like this video, be sure to like and subscribe, and go ahead and leave a comment down below on what your favorite trip was that you've ever taken. I'll be sure to go back and read them later. You guys are awesome. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next Tuesday. Bye!